Good morning. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Boaz Paldi. I am the Chief Creative Officer of the United Nations Development Program. We're here today at the SDG Media Lounge and with our partners, the Public Foundation and SAWA, the Global Cinema Advertising Association. With me today is the president of SAWA, Florian Weischer, also chairman of the Weischer Group, and we're going to have a little conversation about what Florian himself as an individual does for the SDGs and what SAWA has been doing all these years. Florian, you've been supporting the SDGs personally and with your business since the very, very beginning. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So first of all, thank you for this kind introduction. It was all right. Yes, Boaz, it started some years ago in 2014 when we as a trade body got to know that the UN were about to release the formerly called global goals in 2015. So we were 1 year ahead, and we got in contact with the UN in New York and said, okay, as a medium, we want to do something for good, and we want to do something that is relevant. And we feel that maybe these nowadays sustainable development goals can be, let's say, one of the biggest campaigns ever in marketing. And so as a medium, we want to prove that we can deliver, and we want to prove that we are on the right side to do things that we think are really relevant for the planet. And of course, I'm personally affected by this. I'm living, next to a river that's connected with the North Sea, so the water is just meters away from me, and I know what it means, and I can see it. So this is the personal side, but the business side says, okay, yes, we as a, let's say, as a global medium, we want to do something.
And cinema as a global medium, what's I don't want to be too crass about it, but what do you get out of it? What's the benefit to you?
I think really the first point is being relevant to people that go to the movies, because that's their choice, and if they see something on the big screen that really appeals to them and say, yes, this cinema stands for the right thing, it will help the cinema and it will help us, and becoming a bit more visible. And I think the fact that we were able within weeks to arrange a global campaign around the world with, I think, some 65 companies that are within SAWA, to have that campaign on the screen, I think that was something that we want to demonstrate to the industry, saying, okay, yes, we are a medium that is accountable and that works, and that can also deliver a global result if need be. So, and for us, it made us, more relevant in our market. It was easier to get in contact with potential clients for, let's say, regular screen advertising by saying, okay, look, this is what we've done, and we feel this is really something you should support as well. So we were lobbying to get more partners for the campaign, and also we're just doing our business. And I think the other side of the success for us is that it's so relevant to the people that work with us, because they feel, okay, this company is really standing for purpose. And if you look at the young generations we want to attract, and it's getting more and more difficult from year to year, and they're really looking, okay, what does this company stand for? And I think these campaigns we're running with the UN is always, let's say, our introduction to talking to these people. And some of them, they just know it, and they know because our logo is integrated into it, and that's a huge help in this respect.
And recently you joined the campaign that UNDP launched, the Don't Choose Extinction campaign. If you haven't seen it yet, please go to don'tchooseextinction.com. Check it out. It's got a dinosaur barging into the United Nations and saying a few choice words about extinction. What made you join that campaign? And do you think, this campaign is all about climate change, and do you think the cinema medium can do more for climate change?
Yes, I think we can, because we have these young audiences, and it's really hard to reach them through other media, maybe except social. I think we have an impact because people are concentrated. They watch and listen for 60 seconds without, there's no interruption to it. the phones are down, and this is a unique chance to really communicate something that is complex. And climate change is not easy. I mean, it's not it can't be told in 7 seconds. That's impossible. I think, yes, it will change the mind of young people. And if we do so, then we can have hope that this young generation may do the change, because our generation, I mean, we tried our best, both of us, I'm sure, but our generation really fucked it up, so to be honest. And I think if we think that there is a solution to it, the young people have to make it.
But yeah, I 100% agree with you on that. You know, I'm a big movie lover myself. Yeah. I went to film school. Yeah. I wanted to be the next Jean-Luc Godard. It didn't quite work out that way. I'm a bit sad about it still. But you know,
but you do great campaigns. I mean,
you know, this is my consolation prize.
Yeah. Okay.
But I love the movie. There's nothing like the experience of going to the movies, lights going down, film starts, and you're immersed in this thing, and you know. I'm a little bit worried about the cinema industry. I'm really worried about cinemas.
Yes.
What's your projection? Do you think that you guys can, you know, come back from COVID? You suffered very, very badly in COVID, but do you think you can come back?
We are coming back already, but I agree, Boaz, on the first step, going back to March 2020, when COVID reached Europe and Germany. We got a 2 days, let's say, pre-warning before the lockdown, 2 days. And we know, okay, within 48 hours your business has stopped. It has come to a full stop, nothing there from there on. That was a shock to me, because I never expected that this could happen. I mean, we've seen a couple of crises through the past decades, but nothing like that. So no one ever stopped cinema from just opening the doors. So, and then it was closed for a month, for many months. So we had 2 difficult years, really. We had 2 difficult years. But in the end, the company is still alive. The cinemas are still alive. And what we see this year is that, let's say, the blockbuster thing works, I would say, even better than before the pandemic. We have results for the big movies like James Bond, or now Maverick. Recently is the most successful Tom Cruise movie in Germany ever. We expect, or we just started Jurassic World. That's a perfect bridge to Frankie. I think he did, in the opening night only, 150,000 admissions in Germany, which is a lot, just in the opening night. That means that it's from midnight on. So I'm really seeing that people are coming back, because there is no other experience to see a movie that you can really share, that you can do together. I mean, you can sit with your family and watching TV or Netflix. Okay, I do that also. But I think if you want to have this experience with 300 other people, to see and to feel what they think about what's happening on the big screen, I think there's no other way than just go to the cinema. So I'm optimistic. It will be not, let's say, a success here everywhere around the globe. There are countries that still suffer. But I think for those who are able to manage the pandemic, it's doing well.
Now, Frankie is the film, Don't Choose Extinction, is running in 30 countries, in 16 languages across the world. We are having a huge amount of audiences come and see Frankie to drive climate action. Just last week, a big media company called me up on LinkedIn and said if they can have a meeting with me. This is someone that I've been trying to have a meeting with for a long time that weren't really taking my meetings, and suddenly they were asking me for a meeting. So we had a meeting, and where we might have a partnership with this media company. So it's really having already a huge impact, even through just one little act, which is just one of many. But we're very, very grateful to SAWA and to you and to your CEO Cheryl Wannell to push this out. What do you think should be the next step with?
Yes, I think that's really the relevant question at the moment. How can we broaden this campaign? Can we bring other media into that? We're happy if that will happen, and that's why we're pitching for it. We both, and we made a lot of contacts here at Cannes Lions from other media saying, okay, yes, we're interested, because we see this is relevant and it's a good campaign. That's your work. So if we can bring other media channels to it, I think that's great. I would love to see if we could integrate social media as well, but I see that's difficult to do because the format that we're using is quite long. But you know, I posted a picture with Frankie on my very small and more private LinkedIn channel, but it got some 2,000 views overnight. And that's a success for me.
That's a success for me too.
and the responses we get and the comments are really positive. And Frankie seems to be someone, even though he's not real, you know, people really feel attracted to that, and they love him in the first second. So I think that was a great idea.
And just as one final question, what's you know, do you believe that we can continue the partnership with SAWA, with the global cinema medium, to really kind of push the agenda of climate change, of the SDGs? Yeah. What would be the best way of doing that?
Yes, I would say, okay, what we do right now it seems to be successful for our member companies around the globe as well. So that's something that secures more or less that they are going to participate in the future. But from, let's say, from my point of view as a president, and from what I know from Cheryl as a CEO of SAWA, she's very much after it, that we want to continue with it. Because if you look at sustainability, what does it really mean? If it's a one-shot wonder, it has nothing to do with sustainability. We're now doing it for 7 years, and I hope that we can do it at least for another 7, because then the connection between this medium cinema, the UNDP, and the SDGs is really learned. And so, if you ask me, yes, I'm up for it.
Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining us. We'll please go to the website and check out don'tchooseextinction.com. Thank you to our partners again, SAWA and the Public Foundation. Thanks.